I've searched many years on end. There was none that my soul could depend. My soul cries out for your presence in this very hour, for your presence in here. I've searched many years on end. There was none that my soul could depend. My soul cries out for your presence in here. This very hour, for your presence.
Bless greetings, Richie Rich. Thanks for being here, yeah? Stay tuned. This is something that you might want to hear. You might want to hear this. You might even know about it already.
In His name I find the peace I seek. In His name I find. In His name I find. In His name I find the joy I seek. I've searched many years on end. There was none that on my soul could depend. My soul cries out for your presence again. This very hour, for your presence in His name I find, in His name I find the peace I seek. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the joy I seek. In your presence I am free from the chain that has bound me. In your presence I am calm, waiting for the kingdom. In your presence I am free from the chain that has bound me. In your presence I am calm.
All right, Richie, right now,
Waiting
we're
for
going to get ready to talk about a topic called prostate cancer, you know?
in His name I find, in His name I find,
Just now getting off of work.
I find the peace I seek. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the joy I
Time's late under the moon, and I thank God I made it. And I pray, take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been crying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there'll be no more war, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Starts about we don't lose, we all lose when you're being on the souls of the innocent, blood drenched paper. Keep on moving, you're the ones that still resist. And in this place you may lose your way, your way. My try, you don't let it keep you away. No way. Sometimes in my tears I try, I never let it get me down. So negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been crying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there'll be no more, and I children one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. What else are we change? Slipping back the same. Stop with the violence, down with the game. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun. I've been waiting for, I've been crying for the people to say that don't wanna fight no more, there'll be no more, and as you look for me, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been crying for the people to say.
You know, so you can get a more well. Blessed greetings each and every one. This here is Servant David. Yeah. I want to give all glory and all honor to the Almighty God up in heaven. Almighty God, I ask that you will get, all the glory through this program here tonight. Father God, you know that nothing that I do is of me and nothing is for me. It's all for you, dear Lord God. Almighty God, I ask that someone will be touched by this. I ask that someone will, learn something from this and possibly even teach as well, because there are some out there who are aware of this this thing called prostate cancer. Some of you might know and some of you might not know that my initial goal for my LSs are to talk about health awareness and, other truthful information that are out there. So I'm here to, give you guys, information and help to educate and spread awareness, And I am not a doctor. I am not a pastor, but I do my research. So I don't want you to take anything you see on any one of my contents or anything that you may hear from me or see me do or hear me advise you to do. I don't want to just take it from me. I advise that you do your own research and you seek medical, professions for your health issues before you take things into your own hand.
Manners, love, and elevation to you, Sabrina. Thank you for being here. Richie Rich, manners, love, and elevation, my brother. Nothing but love, yeah?
And I am not responsible for anything that anyone may do or say on this program or after this program, from watching it. So I just want to put that in there. Again, I am not a doctor. I'm just a mere servant for the Lord God Almighty up above. So I ask that you guys just, kick back, sit back. I'm not going to be here too long. I'm just going to brief, on this thing called prostate cancer. For those of you who don't know, prostate cancer awareness is in September, and the color yes, sorry, cervical cancer, that's right. This topic here is prostate cancer, but this month health awareness is cervical cancer, and that ribbon is green. So Yeah, I'm just here to spread health awareness. And also, there are certain things that we do and don't. Those things that we do include eating, and certain things that we eat. There are certain foods that boost the risk of inflamed or enlarged prostate. Foods such as starches. Starches like white breads, rice. Potato, things like that. Those type of things, starches can boost, prostate cancer. And if you have it, it can be very dangerous if you eat those things like high protein foods such as meats and stuff like that. Also, dairy is high risk for prostate cancer. Blessed greetings, the best day you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Blessed greetings. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play a little interview per se. Not really an interview, but it's a friend of mine. Her name is Empress T. You can find her on YouTube as well, Empress T. That's Empress Tee. And you can also find my very good friend Rula Brown, RULABRON. That's Rula Brown on the Rula Brown Network. So I'm just gonna play a quick clip, of her going into more detail about prostate cancer, and so you can get a more understanding of it. And if it's possible, and you can share this out, I ask that you do that. So you guys kick back and enjoy the show.
Prostate cancer is also other issues that are a little milder, but still as uncomfortable.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so you have, I know that's one of the subjects that was requested, talk about prostate cancer, so you're going to cover that in today's presentation.
Yes.
Okay.
It was requested by Servant David, and really it's a topic that we need to be discussing more, but I think that because of where it's located and who it's located on, the topic is not so open for discussion. Men are just not as inclined to talk about their bodies as women are. And I can't even really say that because some women aren't even as open about talking about their bodies either. But we're in a whole different day and age, and we need to, as I always say, be mindful of our bodies and the connection and the messages that they give us. So with this topic, about the prostate, this is something that men and women need to talk about together. Lots of men are not going to talk about it. Women, talk to your men about it. Talk to your brothers, talk to your cousins, talk to your fathers, talk to your your grandpas and stuff. Just bring it up to them casually. Hey, by the way, today I heard, an interesting talk segment on prostate, and they were saying this and they were saying that. And this way you open up a forum, and even if they don't discuss it with you, you have planted seeds of information that may prompt them to ask you later questions or to go and do some research on their own.
Good point. No, what do you think are some of the reasons why, men, well, from your understanding, what are some of the reasons that
I think because it has a lot to do with ego, it has to do with masculinity. A lot of times, we equate masculinity with ability to produce offspring. amount of women that you're able to have sex with. These are the things, unfortunately, that are some of the characteristics of men. And because the masculinity thing is such a touchy subject for men, they're not willing to talk about it, because what man is going to say, yeah, I have problems now, I'm not able to hold an erection, I'm not able to urinate comfortably, I'm in a lot of pain. Most men are just not comfortable talking about it. I just think it has to do with that, a lot of it.
All right, so what I'm going to do is allow you now to present your information as you had planned it. So just go ahead and you can scroll through it and I'll chip in. The topic. 154. Go ahead now, D.
Okay, so prostate cancer is actually the second most common death. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's a T. One. Okay. You sent me 4 photographs. Do you want me to just flash them from time to time? Because I don't know.
Yeah, you can flash them from time to time, and then they're all going to be relevant, and they're all the same thing, but they just show different aspects. That one right there that shows the prostate cancer probably has the most realistic view, right. But I'm not sure how close up
they can see it, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing. But you can also go on my Empress C page, and I will have all these photos up as well.
Okay, good. So, all right.
Okay, so now, prostate cancer, what I was saying, is the second most common cancer death in the U.S. It's, from what I understand...
On the music, okay, sorry, Sister T, we have a gentleman, he comes in occasionally, and when he comes in during the week, we have to pick him up, Music Junkie, and you know who that is. Listen up to Music Junkie. Go ahead now, Sister T.
Yes, hi. Another thing that I wanted to do to interject before I go on, I had a friend, I told one of my friends that I was going to be doing this segment today on prostate, and he said to me, well, how could you ever know or understand anything about the prostate and the cures? And what I said to him is that I don't have to. What I understand and know is about the human body and what a magnificent machinery it is. And with that and what I know about holistic cures, I know that we can, take care of ourselves. And so that's why I feel confident enough to talk about it. And also, it's not as an expert or an authority, but as someone, like I said, just bringing it to the fore so that we can start opening up talks about it. We have to talk about these things. It's the second most common death, but yet African American males are the ones who are dying from it the most. Yep. Mm-hmm. They say every 6 minutes someone is dying from it. A man is dying from it. And that it affects about 1 in 7 men. I can give you some more statistics. As you get older, they say, men under 40, it affects maybe 1 in 10,000. And for men ages 40 to 59, it affects 1 in 38. So as you see, as you get older, it's affecting more in smaller groups. So that the age group between 60 and 69, it affects 1 in 14. So that by the time you reach 65 years of age, 65% of those diagnosed are going to have some type of prostate cancer.
Quickly before we go on though, so what I'm hearing there, one speaks of it being hereditary. What you're saying there, it's more, you have a greater chance of getting it as you get older.
As you get older, but also genetics plays a factor, your race plays a factor. For some reason, they're not really sure yet because, they're still doing tests. Black African American men get it 2.5 times more than the Caucasian men.
Right.
And then here's something else interesting. Asian men had the lowest rate. They got it something like in China, they had like 2% that get this. But then when they move over here, naturally the rate increases.
That's interesting. So that has to do with probably the environment, food they eat or something. I know you meant
touch on that. All of those.
Yeah,
that has to do with all of those.
Okay.
In fact, genetics, they say that, like I said, African American males, they seem to say we get it more But, there's still the question of, is it that they're just not being diagnosed sooner? Because as I said, Black men are not going to talk about it. They're not as comfortable talking about it with their partners, with their peers, or even with their doctors. So it could be that we're just seeing them at the later stages instead of at the beginning when they're first getting the symptoms. And, so that plays a factor in it. Genetics, if your father or your brother had it or an uncle, you're twice as likely to have it.
You got extra one?
And also their age that they had it at has a factor too. So if they contracted the cancer and they were younger than 55, then you're most likely going to get it if you're a male and you're on that bloodline. This is what they're saying. They also say in the U.S. it's 17% higher chances of getting it. The males here just have a higher rate of contracting prostate cancer. And something else interesting, there were some states that even had higher, recordings, record numbers of people with the cancer. And that's in North Philly, in Columbus, Ohio, in Provo, Utah. And they linked it, interestingly enough, to less sun. Because for 3 months out of the year, when it's winter time, the sun doesn't really go up that far. They're not getting as much vitamin D. Right. And so they've linked it to that for those people in those areas, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Interesting.
So, now, what is the prostate? I don't know if you can see clearly. The prostate is a small gland. It's about the size of a walnut, and it's located under the bladder, in front of the rectum, and in between. It's nestled in between the penis in that area. I don't know if you can maybe go to another slide, Lula.
I have this one where it shows more information on there. It has some of those information you're mentioning. In terms of blowing it up more, it's very tricky for me to get blown up any further.
Okay.
But
how about that picture? That's a great picture right there. That one is great. Okay. So that you see that the prostate gland, which is yellow, is nestled underneath the bladder. It's in front of the rectum, and just in between the penis. So what the gland is supposed to do, what it's responsible for, is it produces prostatic fluid. And the reason why prostatic fluid is important is it helps with the sperm. It helps keep the sperm alive and viable, and it also keeps the semen thin. I want to say kind of liquidy after a male ejaculates, so that the sperm can continue to move. Because the whole process of ejaculation is supposed to be to fertilize an egg. So that's what the prostatic fluid does. And it makes up probably 30 to 35% of what fluid is. Now, inside the prostatic fluid, what you have are these enzymes or proteins, and they're called prostate-specific antigens, or PSA. And the PSAs are what they use to measure or to determine whether or not a male has prostate cancer. Are you with me?
I'm listening.
Okay. So now how they get to the PSAs is that they take a blood sample and they measure, I guess, the amount of blood to the PSA, to the amount of protein that's in there. And from there, they can determine whether or not you have cancer. So the thing is that they say the PSA levels should be around 4, anything 4% or higher is an indication that you maybe have cancer. And they said that anything 4% or lower was pretty good. But what happened was they were finding that wasn't really conclusive, because there were some people that had it below 4 and then they had cancer, and then they had some that had high levels but didn't have cancer. So that, it's still in the new stages. They're still trying to figure it out and understand it, if I can say it that way. But it's good to watch the levels because it does give you an indication.
Yeah, let me add something there. And I've been having my PSA check for the past 20 years. And again, like you've indicated, the range goes from 0 to 4. Now, what can happen, because I know of someone whose PSA level was 2.6. And it just so happened that I have a further testing. Because what had happened, I think this reading, I'm just giving this information because a close friend of mine, his reading was running consistently for a number of years at 1.1, 1.2. And then one point, he went in for his physical and his reading was observed to be 2.6. And the doctor said, asked him, this kind of jump is kind of really magnanimous. Do you have anyone in your family that has prostate cancer? And he said, yes, his dad died of prostate cancer. So even though it was at 2.6, the doctor went and discussed with him the potential of doing a biopsy. And he did the biopsy, and that's when he found out he had cancer. He had prostate cancer. But I just want to add that even though the numbers may fall within that window that they recommend, you can still have it. So again, if you talk about the correlation with your genes, that could also be indication that you need to check further to see if you have these things.
Exactly. And so that's why the PSAs are, it's a little funny. They say there's no real level because that's like what you said. His levels were low, but then he still had it. Right. Because there's other factors that you have to take into account. Like if it's genetics, your age, your race, where you live, all those things have a bearing into it as well. But the other thing that we talked about, when you go to these doctors, get your record. Lots of people feel like, I don't understand it. It's no good to me. It is good. It is important. It doesn't even matter if you don't understand it. Get the records. You can check your own progress. You can see how you're doing based off of your records if you keep them and if you look at them. So it's always good to look and be informed for yourself. Now, there are other things that can cause your PSA to rise. It's not just age, and those are the things that are not exactly cancer, but can also cause the same kind of discomfort. And so one of the things is, let's see if I can say it right, prostatitis.
Yeah, prostatitis.
Prostatitis. And what that is inflammation of the prostate.
Right.
So now there's inflammation and there's enlargement, and you have to understand the difference because they are two different things. Mm-hmm. Inflammation can be caused by bacteria. It can be caused by a resistant bacteria. Maybe you had an infection before, a urinary tract infection, and it got treated with some of the bacteria remained. It might have been just a little minute amount of bacteria remaining. It could be caused by irritation from urine backup. Because what happens with the prostate when it swells up, I don't know if you can see there, the prostate shares the urethra with the bladder. And so because of where it's located, when it swells up, it literally squeezes the urethra closed. And so what happens is it causes the urine to get blocked. It gives you sensations like you have to urinate, but you can't because of swelling, so you can't urinate the right way. But the backup of the urine is what can also cause urinary problems because the bacteria will then cause you to have a urinary tract infection because it's not able to release. So there's a lot of issues that can, inflame the prostate. It could be parasites. You can have pelvic muscle issues. It could be from sexual abuse. It could be from viruses, problems with your nerves. It can even be chemical irritation. You'd be surprised how soaps, detergents, condoms, lubricants can also have an effect and cause inflammation in that area.
Empress, I've just put up the photo that shows a normal prostate, what it looks like. And an enlarged one, just to illustrate the point you're making, that once it's enlarged, then you have that constriction in that particular area that could cause other problems.
Yes. And so the reason why I said there's a difference between inflammation and enlargement because it can get enlarged but not necessarily be inflamed.
Right.
And I'll go into the difference of that later, but let me just finish with the
let me just add one little tidbit, and the tidbit I'm adding here is just based on discussion with my doctor, and because I have my test checked every year. One of the things that if you're going for physical, and the night before, say you're gonna do your physical this Friday morning, and the night before you had sexual intercourse, or if the night before, the day before, you've been riding on a bike, those activities can increase your PSA. So, I just want to add those other tidbits to what you're saying.
Okay, so then I guess if you're going to go and have those types of testing, then you may want to refrain from any type of strenuous or any type of aggressive pelvic movement. Is that fair to say, Lulu?
Yes, because you just mentioned pelvic, and that's why I mentioned that information. You just talk about you were giving some list and you mentioned the pelvic. That's why I added that information in.
Yeah, and see, it's good that you mentioned that. So see, now the symptoms of prostatitis, am I saying it right?
Yeah, prostatitis.
Yeah. The symptoms are blood in the urine or in the semen, pain or burning when urinating, painful bowel movements, painful ejaculation, pain in the lower back above the pubic bone, between the genitals and the anus, or at the tip of your penis, with difficulty straining when urinating, or frequent urges urinating. Basically, anything that doesn't feel right down there should prompt you to have it checked out.
Right.
Because it can lead to so much more than just a simple painful infection. It could just be something simple. It could be bacterial infection. You get some antibiotics and boom, you're better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the key is, again, to be in tune with your body. Don't deny what you feel. I think that a lot of men feel something, they say, nah, I'm good, I'm fine, and then they'll go and force themselves to pee, and that's not good either, because you can strain yourself, you can cause yourself urinary damage. It's really not good to force yourself to try to
thank you, Sister Diva, for being here.
Like that.
Thank you. Sabrina, thank you. Lady S, thank you.
Be careful with that.
Yeah, and one of the key thing I see Music Junkie just entered in the chat room, that the urinary, it's urinary, they call it UTI, urinary tract infection, which can happen from time to time. But it says one of the key things is regular testing. Just like you said, you just don't go and test and put down the date and leave it in the drawer. You need to go back and have an idea as to where your numbers are relative to previous years. And it's something for me that I really do. I can sit down and map out all my readings over the past 20 years. I've been checking that.
Yes, and you need to. What they do is when you go there, they'll give you either a urine test, or they'll take a semen culture, or sometimes they'll even take a prostate culture. And what they do is they'll squeeze the prostate and get some of the fluid so that they can, look at it and see what's in there. Whether the proteins, they count the PSAs like that. And then they also test for sexually transmitted diseases. Because sometimes it's an STD. It might be something simple, but you won't know. The point is that you won't know if you don't go and get it checked out.
Empress, one thing you have not mentioned, which I want to add this in the dialogue here, about DRE. I had asked a question why some men don't want to go and have a checkup. There's a thing called digital rectal exam. They call it DRE. And that's how the doctors are able to determine if your prostate is growing. And if he starts to see getting big or large, he may say something is happening. Like T says, it doesn't necessarily mean there's a problem. But that's how that's one of the tests that he can perform on you to make sure you're cleared of anything.
Yes, those tests. Now that particular test that you're speaking about, that is for it really depends on the symptoms. I don't want to say they don't always do it. They do like they have their regular tests, like you said, that's one of them, the digital rectal. And what that is the
yes, that's true.
Is for where you get the name from, and insert it into the rectum to feel for the prostate. And they can feel the prostate there. Depending on how big it is, they'll know whether it's in a cancerous stage. If it's really, really big, they can sometimes determine what stage of cancer it's in. I was going to get into that a little later, but I just wanted to finish first with the inflammation. So if you go into the doctor and they give you these tests and they say, okay, it's a simple inflammation, they'll either prescribe you some antibiotics or some meds to relax your prostate muscles, or some ibuprofen or lead, to reduce the swelling and the inflammation, and also some stool softeners to soften all the glands and all the organs in that area, so that you can get your flow back, because that's what it really is. In addition to that, there are also some natural remedies. I was going to hit you with some that you can also do that help with that. And, apple cider vinegar, we talked about it. I think we keep talking about it, but apple cider vinegar helps with toxins. Let's say that you did contract a UTI or you're forming one. Apple cider vinegar helps detox the toxins from your body. And another thing you can do if your prostate does get inflamed and you're uncomfortable is that you can take a warm bath in the apple cider vinegar and Epsom salt and baking soda, and that'll help relieve some of the inflammation, and it'll also detox you, so that it's working inside and out to relieve some of the inflammation. You can also eat pumpkin seeds. They say that pumpkin seeds are very, very rich in zinc. There's a group that believes that prostate issues are related to zinc deficiency. I've even mentioned it before in one of my other segments where I was talking about improper sex. If the semen is not ejaculated properly, you can have blockages, you can have problems with that. If it's too much ejaculation, you can get zinc deficiencies, and that causes other issues. You need this zinc. The zinc, as I said, helps with the sperm. It helps to keep the sperm viable. It helps to keep it liquidy so that it can move. It does some other things. The zinc is very important. I can't find it in my notes. I'm sorry, guys. So the zinc increases the sperm count. It also lowers the estrogen and prolactin. They believe that when there's too much estrogen, it breaks down the testosterone and the
Sasidiva, women don't have prostate cancer. Men have prostate cancer, but women have something that is very, very, very similar. Yeah, man, what go on? Say, yeah, man. Say, yeah, man. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but you can tell some of your male people that are in your life, about prostate cancer. But women get cervical cancer. It's basically the same thing, but just for women. So you can definitely go and get tested for cervical cancer. I did something about cervical cancer, and I'm going to do something again, probably another time. I was going to do it with this one too, but I'm just going to do them separate. This one is about prostate cancer, No, man. Yeah, all right. Y'all be here, man. I know, David. I'm just having some fun. Okay.
testosterone creates when it's broken down, it creates DHT, which breaks down that it breaks down, as I said, it breaks down the testosterone, and that's what causes the gland to swell. So there you have enlargement, but it's not inflammation. Do I need to repeat that? Do you understand? That when you have a zinc deficiency,
yeah,
it lowers the estrogen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it lowers the testosterone. And what that does is that without the testosterone, the gland enlarges. It starts to grow. It's not swelling. It's growing.
I know what you mean, Sassy.
So the zinc prevents it from growing. It keeps it at a normal size. So there's a group of people that believe that, any prostate issue can be relieved by increasing your zinc. And that's why they said that, frequent ejaculation is not very good because it depletes your zinc, and then people are not aware of it and they don't increase their zinc. So if you increase your zinc intake, you can take zinc supplements 50 to 100 milligrams per day, should help regulate that. And if you take some apple cider vinegar, you can also balance your body chemicals inside. And they also say molasses, believe it or not, is very, very rich in all the vitamins and minerals and helps keep it balanced, because what you want to do is keep your testosterone and your estrogen levels balanced so that it produces the right chemicals and everything is flowing properly.
All right, so one clarification. Let me see if I understand this. Maybe I didn't understand it clearly. So you're saying, for example, Tom Smith, has a lot of women, he's having a lot of sex, having a whole pack up many times over. If by him discharging a whole bunch of different times, his zinc levels could be affected, and therefore it could create other problems. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Quite interesting.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All right. So then, listeners, if you have any boyfriends or husbands, whatever, you can have this kind of dialogue. That's one of the purpose of this, is for you to hear some of these information, check it out, read up more, talk to your doctor, make sure you understand. So for Mr. Tom Jones out there at Tom Smith, if you're doing it early for people and all that come, remember that you have to make sure you're taking your proper vitamins, your zinc vitamin, to offset those things. Go ahead.
Yes, because zinc deficiency is also linked to, I think it's schizophrenia. You can, and remember, people, look this stuff up. Don't take my word for it. I looked it up. I hear about it. I talk about it with friends, and I talk about it with family members, so that I can become familiar, because I like to know, what's going on. I have 3 sons. I want to know what they can look forward to. I want to know how to prepare them.
Yeah.
So, these are the things. But zinc deficiency is also linked to mental disorders. Back in the day, they used to have this thing where they said, if the young boys vaccinated too much, they'll go crazy. The reason why they said that is because they seem to be going crazy, but it was linked to that zinc deficiency. It affected their brain. And so to them, the obvious connection was that one act. But it's a real thing. If you do the research, you can see that it causes a chemical imbalance and it triggers other things in the body. So I'm not saying don't masturbate, but if you're going to do it, replenish your zinc. Try drinking molasses. Those who like a lot of coffee is not good for you. Caffeine will destroy and eat up your body. Substitute it with black strap molasses. Black strap molasses is also very good for prostate inflammation. It has a lot of manganese, iron, calcium, potassium, and most importantly, it has selenium, which is anti-inflammatory. And it's also rich in the B vitamins, which has obvious anti-cancer properties. So there are things that you can do, incorporate into your daily habit to make sure that your prostate is working, it's going to be working properly. True, there are some factors that we can't avoid. We can't avoid getting old. We can't avoid where we live. Some things we can't avoid genetically. But there are things that you can probably do to help alleviate it or push it back some, so that you don't have to deal with it so early, full onslaught of the issues, the prostate issues.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. How about regional? I've heard that in Jamaica, there's the studies have shown, and I don't know how scientific it is, but studies have shown that there are certain parts in Jamaica that prostate cancer is prevalent amongst men. And I think what they were trying to tie to is the eating of ackee. I don't know if you know about any of those things. Go ahead.
I know. I've had ackee before, but what I really think it is, It's definitely a key to the diet. When it's something like that, when it's a group of people like that, it definitely can be a thing with the diet. But again, like I said, that means that there's deficiencies being caused. And then these deficiencies, they trigger different things in the body. And so that if we can, just try and balance out our diet a little more. If there's pain in terms of the Aki, I would have to look up and see what is prevalent in Aki, what mineral or what nutrient, what is it that's prevalent in there, because maybe it's doing something to the testosterone. Right.
Know
what I'm saying?
Empress, I don't know if you're looking into the chat room. Music Donkey wrote something there. I don't know if you want to give a stab at it and see if he has an answer. I'm not sure if it's a question or it's just a conjecture. So, do you think that if you get a chance to speak on it, then you can probably determine if something you want to address? Okay, so yeah, go ahead now, Auntie.
Okay, so then that we covered that. Now, that I gave him symptoms of what prostatitis is, but the symptoms for cancer are almost the same. The difference with the cancer will be more swelling when the doctor does the digital rectal, the DRI test, they can feel it. And there's different, as I said with the PSA, they can read the levels, they can get to see what's going on internally by that. But then they also do a cancer biopsy.
Yeah, I know you.
Now, some people don't want the biopsy. Some people are afraid of it. It looks scary. I personally wouldn't want a biopsy. What they do is they go either through the rectum wall into the prostate and extract fluids, for testing to see, or they can go in between the skin, in between the scrotum and the rectum, and get the fluids from there. But it's kind of dangerous because it invites opportunity for infection in that area. There's pain, bleeding that can go along with it if it's not, if it's not done right. So it's very, and it's painful. It's very invasive to get tested for. So you want to be sure. And sometimes, like you said, they go through the digital, the CRI test and not detect it. There are different stages of cancer, and so that's why you would have to have all the tests if your doctor sees that your levels are low, if you have a history of it in your family. They would use all these things to determine how much testing they'll do. And then once they do the testing, there are stages of the test. There are stages of the cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So that, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, so in actuality, to confirm if one has prostate cancer, the injecting into the body, doing the spinal, not spinal, but actually going and pulling fluid from inside and doing the test is more conclusive than the blood. Yeah. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes. Not just that. It's not just it's that, it's the blood, it's the semen. They look at everything together. The PSA levels. Mm-hmm. They would also look at your, family history. All of those things take into effect. But definitely going directly in is the most accurate way of knowing, because then they can see the cells. Because in stage 1, you can have cancer in stage 1. There's the photograph there, and it's just so small. You can't see it, you can't feel it. You won't be able to feel it during his test because it hasn't started to swell. But it's there, and they can know by the PSAs or by the test, the biopsy. And then as you go through the stages, you see that it gets bigger. In stages 2, it's still in the prostate. The cancer is still in the prostate. It's a little bigger, and your PSAs will be higher, but it hasn't migrated past the prostate. So it's still not bad, considered not to be so bad. Now in stage 3, it kind of moved outside of the prostate, but it's still just outside. And so it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. But stage 4 is the worst because it leaves the prostate, and now it has the chance of infecting other organs.
Right.
And there's where the problem comes in, and there's where people are dying because it can affect your liver, it can affect your kidneys, it can go up to your lungs, it can just wreak havoc in your body if not checked in time.
Okay, and folks, that's 10 minutes after or 40 minutes now, and Prestige is covering high frequency, and our topic this week is about prostate cancer in men, and some of the things to look for, some of the things to do, some of the precautions. Let me add this, and we've been hearing this, Empress, that there have been findings. And one of the things that there's a statement that came out that says prostate cancer screening in men, that men should forego PSA testing, a panel advises. It says a government panel finds that there is little evidence that a common prostate cancer screening saves men's lives and instead raises the risk of unnecessary harm, which is some of the side effect stuff you were talking about.
Yeah, because of where it is. Right. It's in a really delicate spot. It's nestled in there, and then because the urethra runs right through it, it runs the risk of infecting a lot of different organs. It's really in a delicate spot. To me, I would like to see a change in diet. I'm just a firm believer of it. It may seem so simplistic, but it's the real. These are things that are happening inside of our bodies, and a lot of it is being triggered by the foods that we're putting inside our bodies. We're putting in foods that are depleting our nutrients. We're putting in foods that are toxic, and we live in toxic environments. I mean, like, our bodies almost have no chance to do what it's famous for. They're strong. They're supposed to support us and live. But we don't really give it the right chance. We're not giving it a chance.
Indeed. Let me add a couple of things here, Empress. Music Junkie added in the chat room that the study on actually causing prostate cancer in Jamaica in men have been found to be inconclusive. An example of stage 1 is cancer localized on a lobe of a prostate. And he says stage 2 is localized to both lobes of the prostate. Stage 3,
but it's still within the prostate. That's the main thing about those two stages.
Right, and he says stage 3 is cancer outside the prostate, not affecting lymph node, and stage 4 is affecting lymph node, and stage 5 is beyond the lymph node. Is what he said.
The liver and they use another system called the PNM, and that's where they determine whether it's gone to the lymph node or whether it's in the bloodstream or how far it's gone.
What is the acronym?
It's called PNM, and it stands for tumor, node, and metastasis. I may not be pronouncing it properly, metastasis.
But it's not
metastasis. Metastasis. That just shows how far the cancer has spread. And he's got it right there. You can see it also in the diagram. I don't know how close up people can see it. I can see it because I've seen it. But the trick, gentlemen, is don't let it get that far. We don't want it to stage 5, okay? So that if you're feeling any weird symptoms, and you know what's weird, when your stuff is feeling good or when it's not feeling good.
Let me just add quickly here for correction. What is being shown on this picture is stage 1, the devil in Roman numeral, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. That's what's being shown on this diagram.
Yes.
It's in Roman numeral.
And so, you see how, there's a backwards Y? So each of those sections are sections, if I'm correct, am I correct, Music Junkie? Each of those are lobes in the prostate. And so what he's saying there is that if it's in one lobe or in 2 of those lobes and 3 of those lobes, that's what I believe he's talking about. Am I correct, Music Junkie? You can see in the diagram, the cancer is depicted by the yellow.
Right. All right, it's 15 minutes after. I don't know if you're going to...
We can talk about treatment of the cancer. Would y'all want to hear what ways to treat it?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I presume you're going to cover treatment. Go ahead, yes.
So depending on the stage, that determines the treatment. So that in stage 1, where it's still relatively small, they would do what they call watchful waiting. They would just, take a look, because sometimes there's cancer cells there, but if it's not growing or not doing anything, it could be benign. Benign means that it's not really killing. It can't kill you. It's there, but it's not doing any damage. So, in stage 1, that's what they would do. In stage 2, as the prostate gets a little bigger, they could start doing a little bit of removal of the nose. It depends on how quickly it's growing. They would either do removal, or they may try to do some light radiation, direct radiation therapy to wherever it is. And then for stage 3, the same thing. They would do a little more radiation. They add some removal of the nose, so hormone therapy. They would use external beams of radiation, because it's not outside the prostate, but they still have a chance of containing it. But as it gets more and more spread, then they have to be more aggressive with the treatment, so that the external radiation would be higher. They would use hormone therapy. They might even have to be going to surgery to relieve some blockages and remove some of the tissue. So it all depends on how far along you are with the cancer.
Yes, indeed. All right, 17 minutes after covering the topic of cancer, and Empress is coming to some of the measures that one can take to correct if they realize that they're under that condition. Go ahead.
That was really it. I don't know. I mean, there's also erectile dysfunction, but that's something completely different. True, some of the symptoms are the same, and I believe that they're all related, like I said, to diet. Once we can adopt, a diet that's going to keep us at a balanced level most of the time, I think that a lot of these issues that we're having nowadays will be alleviated. We have to be mindful of what we're eating. We have to be mindful of how we're feeling. People are walking around with cancer and they don't even know, or they do know, but they're afraid to find out. And sometimes it's not a cancer. It could be something, like I said, it could be a simple urinary tract infection. But because you let it go on, and now it's a month or 2, now it turned into something else. We have to, let go of that ego. Put that stuff aside and go and get help. Discuss it with them. Discuss it with your brethren. If you can discuss it with your woman or your wife, discuss it with your brethren. Discuss it with your closest male family member, someone. But discuss it. Do not keep it in, because that's another thing. Then you add on stress to it. So now you think, oh God, something is wrong. I can't go with anybody. Now you're keeping that in. You're acting weird. Your wife is like, what's going on with you? You say nothing's wrong, but something is wrong. She can see something is wrong, and it turns into something else. So we have to communicate and talk to each other. So,
all right. Let me say greetings to Paula Paul. She's tuning in over there in the Flavor Radio. That's Lady Paula Paul. A number of people are tuning in. We're not giving you a shout out now, but again, I want to say big up to all the listeners on the various networks on JamaicaRadio.com, Rule Around Network, CRS Radio, Camden Radio Show, The Flavor Radio, Foundation Radio Network, 25th Century Radio, Scotsby Radio, TuneIn Radio, Mixler Radio, Vibes Urban Radio. Also, individuals checking us out on Might Radio in Manchester, in England, One Arm Radio in London, in England, Regular Nostalgia, Ustream TV, and individuals tuning in on their telephone, 213-401-0061. We have another 5-10 minutes. We're going to wind it down. Okay, Empress. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I presented within the past year and a half, a scenario where I usually read some of these topics, these health topics, and then one of my show last year, someone who has prostate cancer, their PSA reading was up to 13. And then he heard me reading stuff about baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate, the chemical formula, and he called me and said, Rula, what was the dosage? What was the suggested way they take this? And within 9 months, he called me back and said his PSA reading dropped from 13 point odd to 3.9. I know you suggested other natural stuff want to take. Well, what's your thought and suggestion, if you do know, the impact on taking like sodium, baking soda for those things?
Well, again, the baking soda acts as a detox. And it's breaking down. There's another man that did it with the baking soda and the molasses together. The only thing that I can determine from that is that the nutrients and all the things together are balancing internally, you know, and getting those levels back together. Remember I was saying about the zinc deficiency and things like that, so that it helps to regulate. It definitely helps. I use baking soda for a lot of things. When I was doing my research for it, I saw that there were a lot of people that
within 9 months, he called me back and said his PSA reading dropped from 13 point odd to 3.9. I know you suggested other natural stuff want to take. What's your thought and suggestion, if you do know, the impact on taking like sodium, baking soda for those things?
Well, again, the baking soda acts as a detox. And it's breaking down. There's another man that did it with the baking soda and the molasses together. The only thing that I can determine from that is that the nutrients and all the things together are balancing internally, you know, and getting those levels back together. Remember I was saying about the zinc deficiency and things like that, so that it helps to regulate. It definitely helps. I use baking soda for a lot of things. When I was doing my research for it, I saw that there were a lot of people that use different methods, baking soda, molasses, apple cider vinegar, all kinds of natural things. I don't know the mechanics of the baking soda, but I know that it works. There are people that swear by it, and they're using it to combat all kinds of cancer, not just prostate.
All right. Well, hey, folks, and again, Empress is not a medical doctor or anything. She's just presenting her research information and passing it on. So you should always check with your doctor before you do anything, and make sure you're comfortable with whatever information your doctor is passing on to you.
Yes.
And the other thing I want to say, though, about the doctor rule is kind of be careful, because the doctors nowadays, a lot of doctors are paid kickbacks to promote certain medicines and certain products, so that you want to use the doctors for your own benefit. Let them work for you. Like I said, get your test results. Whatever they say, listen to it. Listen to everything they say, but then go home and look up a natural remedy. That should be your first course of action before you take anything. Look up a natural remedy, and then you can even call the doctor back and say, hey, have you heard about such and such? Can I take this with it? Chances are they're going to say no, because they don't want you to heal yourself naturally. Right. If we can heal ourselves naturally, we wouldn't need doctors. Right. But what they really should be doing is working with us to maintain our bodies naturally. That's what they do over in the East. In the Eastern societies, the doctors help maintain. They don't really have to do curing, because people are healthier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And earlier in the presentation, they talked about over in the Middle East, over in China, those type of places, Japan, where the incidences of prostate cancer is extremely low. And if an individual, and if they were to come here, based on your logics, again, what would you contribute? What would you contribute? What would you cause the contribution to that? Is it the eating?
Like I said, it's the diet. It's also environmental. I mean, we in the U.S., just our air alone From what I understand, we have the most toxic air above our country than there is anywhere in the world. Okay, so that has a lot to do with it. The diet has a lot to do with it. It could also be the region. I mean, when I read about the, those particular states that had higher incidences because of less vitamin D, less sunlight, and so they get less vitamin D. All those things are, take effect into it. So when they come over here, though, I think a large part of it has to do with the diet and the culture. Stress wreaks havoc on our body. Yep. People don't realize how much stress wreaks havoc. I spoke about it. It increases your cortisol, and once that cortisol starts producing in your body, it starts robbing nutrients from other parts of your body. It's robbing your calcium. Now your bones are getting weak. It's robbing your zinc. It's robbing your potassium. It's robbing, So every time it robs to produce that cortisol, it's robbing from different parts of your body, your brain, your heart, your lungs. It's causing all kinds of issues, and it just cascades from there.
All right.
It's the diet, I believe.
Yes, indeed. I want to say good morning also to Danette Morrison down in Jamaica. We have a ton load of people tuning in the background. And again, you're listening to High Frequency 1125. Empress, wind it down and let us know what's happening next.
So again, I just want to, to really press upon our male listening, talk about it. If you have any question at all, talk about it amongst your peers. Women, talk to your men about it. If you notice that in bed they're not as forthcoming as they used to be, ask them. Put it to them delicately, in a way that's not shameful, but in a loving way, because it's an issue that you both can resolve together, and it's an issue that can affect you both, because if it doesn't get checked and it turns into cancer, you can potentially die sooner than you need him to. So, talk about it. Share the information. Share this segment with them. Share these topics. We have to talk. That's the main thing. We have to bring our men up, and we have to take care of each other.
All right. I want to say pick up to China, Nicole, and a number of people in the Rural Brown Network on the chat room. There are some others in the Ustream. He wants to pick up to 25th Century, the big man, Miss Clifton Edwards, and playing China, Nicole, Empress, the Music Junkie, SW Toronto Queen, and guess 3188, guess 9489, guess 3443, guess 9093, guess 9936, guess 9334, guess 9357, guess 9097, and a ton load of others. Toronto Queen also is in the background tuning in. Servant David would suggested the topic for Empress. You want to thank her for covering this. Empress, wrap it from here.
Okay, so again, if you are having problems with your prostate, get you some pumpkin seeds, get some sesame seeds, oysters, almonds. Those are all rich in zinc. You can use blackstrap molasses. Try to consume maybe 1 to 3 tablespoons per day. You can mix it with milk. You can mix it with water. For those who are coffee drinkers, try to get some omega-3 oils, some walnuts, kidney beans, flaxseed, salmon. These are things that you want to incorporate in your diet to make sure that you don't have these prostate issues. Bell peppers, vitamin C, tomato gives you lycopene. So, there are things that we can eat. There are things that you can do to make sure that your prostate is good. And again, if you feel anything out of line, anything out of whack, go to a doctor. Just go.
Yes, indeed.
Better a doctor than the coroner.
That's sure. That is very, very true. Indeed. Well, those are some great advices, and Empress, I want to thank you for covering this week. If one has any subject that they'd like Empress to talk about, you can email me. We'll get it on to her. If you friends with her on Facebook, you can link her there. Empress, go ahead and just mention you've done some change, I think, to your high frequency page. Let them know where they can actually see that information.
Yeah, I have. I'm still in the middle of the transition. I only have 24 hours in the day to work with. I've been trying to negotiate 4 more hours. I don't know how, but I need more time, guys. But everything is going to be. Higher frequency or higher frequency with Empress T. Just look for those, and everything that I cover, I will have links on the page, and you can also listen to the replays on Ruler Station. And again, you know, if there's anything that anyone wants me to talk about, just hit me up and I'll do it. And I don't know, does anyone have any questions from today's segment? Yes, if someone want to make a quick call in, we'll certainly open the phone line. The number here is 770-744-2154, 770-744-2154. Or if you want to drop a quick question in the chat room, and Empress can get us started. In the meantime, we want to thank you for tuning in. Though there are a lot of people in the other chat rooms. I'm not monitoring the other chat rooms, but again, if you'd like to call in, you know, the number, we'll take a call or two. If you can get a call in quickly, the number 770-744-2154. Yes, Empress T on higher frequency. Empress, if you want to ad-lib for another minute, see if a call comes in, go ahead, and if not, we just take it out from there. Well, this is for this segment was requested by Servant David. I hope that I've answered any questions that you might have had. And even if it just was just to share, if he just wanted us to share it, get it out there on the floor. This is an excellent topic. It's taking far too many of our Black men. It's taking far too many of our men. And what I've been seeing is that the trend is that they're getting younger. Mm-hmm. You know, they say that as you get older, the incidences increase, but our men are dying younger. And you know, we have to do all that we can to live longer and to live healthier. And by having these forums and by talking and sharing this information, we get it out there and we make a change. Like they say, when you know better, you do better. Okay. So you've heard a lot of information here. There's a lot that we can share. There's a lot that, you know, it's a good starting point. If I didn't answer any questions or if you have more, go look it up. The beauty about the internet now is that you can look up anything that your mind can think of. Anything at all. Right. All right, folks. I think we're gonna leave it there. I have a song actually, Empress T. About 5 years ago. Clinton Lindsay just getting up, take a little okay. I had well, I mean, not hard, but I think 6 years ago I went to Jamaica, and a good friend of mine, he lost his mom from breast cancer and his dad from prostate cancer within 2 weeks. And he did a song, I did a video for it, and I'm going to try to find it on Facebook, on YouTube, and play it for you. So with that, Empress, we're going to call it, again, another great presentation on prostate cancer. And next week, and let's stand by for another gripping presentation from Empress T on higher frequency. And we have recorded this segment, so you'll be able to go back and do the replay on it. Thank you, everyone. All right, Empress T, higher frequency. Yeah.
I want to say manners, love, and elevation to each and every one of you, yeah? So what you guys thought about that? What do you guys think about what you heard? What was discussed? And again, Patricia, I'm sorry for your loss, you know, and you know, like the lady said, like Empress said, this is a very serious topic, you know, and maybe, you know, if we can talk about it like she's saying and spread the awareness about it, it can help save a life. We know it can't bring back anybody, but we can help prevent others from dying from it. You know, just like with my situation, you know, there are many people who have died from many different cancers and they survived. There are some that survived, there are some that died. You know, there are many that have died from AIDS, and there are many who have survived. You know, so if we could spread the awareness And it's not everyone is gonna listen, but if we spread it enough, something will stick. You see, all of us, we have something in our ears. Everybody has it, and it's called wax. I don't care how much time you clean it out. Wax in your ears. So sometimes them say it's like it go through one ear and out the other. If you spread the awareness enough or spread something enough, just go through one ear and out the other. Cause wax in there, so somebody must get stuck. You get me? Might sound funny, but serious thing. So let's go down in the chat. And all things, Anna, I want to thank you for coming. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Manners, love, and elevation. Welcome to the Servant David Show, yeah? She said, it's been a while. Yeah, you gone left me. Anna, why you do it? You go and leave me. I would not want even my worst enemy. For real. For real. Nobody forget get nothing. Even the stuff I have never gotten, I don't want nobody get them. Stuff me hear about, me don't want to get it. Patricia says, true sassy, true sassy, it very wicked. My father lose a lot of weight, look like malnutrition, wearing urinary bag. It's a mess. Wow. So it reached far. I could lift my father like Rambo. All he could do, I just smirk. In everything there's a good. All the bad. In bad there's good. You get that laugh out that, yeah? But how you guys doing today? How was your day? Mine was pretty easy, pretty smooth going. About the hour of frustration, if that, and then But my work day is over. Once a man, twice a child. True. Because right now, I want to tell you about about 2 years ago, or something like that. Maybe 2 years ago, they found a tumor in my mother's brain. My mother is now 76 or something like that. Yeah, so they found a tumor in her brain, and I was trying to talk to her and tell her, some natural things to do and this and that and yada yada. She wasn't listening. She's stubborn. Old people them stubborn, Gosh, I hope I don't get like that. Anywho, and them do the surgery, but after the surgery, she has never been the same. She's on the verge of dementia. Not even the verge. She have dementia. They just not diagnose her. But me I tell you, sir, dementia she have. Or amnesia. Or two of them. Because she's like a child. So like you said, once a man, twice a child. She is like a child, may I tell you. For one split second, mommy come back, everything good. But the next minute, gone. She can be in the kitchen and she's sitting in the kitchen and she put something on the stove. And she sit down around the table and the thing start burn up. Fire alarm start go off. Fire not start, but smoke detector start go off and them something there. and she just sit down around the table like nothing, like she no hear it. For real. Nessa, bless greetings. Thank you for coming, hon. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Mwah. Manners, love, and elevation to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. But yeah, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. And again, Pat, I apologize for that. Pat said definitely dementia. Nessa says, hey, Sassy, I fell asleep last night. But yeah, this thing called prostate cancer, man, it's serious, and it is deadly. And for those who don't know, men get prostate cancer, women get cervical cancer. They are basically the same thing, slight differences, but basically the same thing. Just one for man and one for woman. So men, talk to your women, and women, talk to your men. Talk to the men in your lives. And it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you say to someone, it's how you say it. So sometimes we deliver things, the way we deliver things to people, or the way we come at people, makes them offensive. Or sometimes we might even come at them in a good way, but they come back at us with a defensive, reply. We cannot be mad at them. We cannot we cannot give up on them, because a lot of things people handle different, and it could be that they just in a denial stage, or a defensive stage, or because like she said, like Empress said, prostate cancer, it involves down there, so a lot of men, they're uncomfortable with talking about that, much less to them woman, or to our next woman, or even to another man, especially to another man probably. Their ego is too up there, their pride is up there too much. Well, a few weeks ago, I did a topic on one of the deadliest killers, which is bitterness. Bitterness is a silent killer, but so is silence. So is ignorance. And those things can fall into place with those categories. So talk about it, get tested. And if you don't want to talk about it, then go get tested yourself. But you can still talk about it, because like I said, waxing of the ears, it now go just go through one ear or the other. Something must stick. Something must stick. But yeah, that's how you say you fall asleep. I don't know what time did the live end. I think the live ended about 1 o'clock, 1 or 2 o'clock. I don't know, something like that. And I was only planning to go for about 3 hours, because I knew that I was gonna be playing music for hours straight. So expected, okay, maybe another hour, hour and a half after that. 5 hours. It went 5 hours. So it was a good look. I think 100 and something views. It was pretty good. Pretty good. And once again, I want to say congratulations to you, Sassy Diva. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! On your winnings there. When man see a sign, then no doctor. You're right. You're right. A lot of men tend to not want to go to the doctor. And a lot of people, they go to the doctor too much. You know, I don't really trust doctors like that too tough. But that you still need to find health providers or a health provider. I say the holistic way, meaning the herbal way. You know, but the thing is that when men are always afraid to visit the doctor. And do you know that we go to the doctor to get well, but the doctor sees us to get wealthy? That make any sense to you? We go to the doctor to get well, but the doctor sees us to get wealthy. Just a little something to think about. Personally, I don't know how that feels personally, but I can only imagine what you must be feeling. Try to get some rest. Facts. Nessa, it's because of how the test is done. That too definitely. My dad didn't like doctors, so when pain reached him, he didn't have option, because when him start think about the money, whoa, he just keep so think about the money and expense, and knowing he might not see his children, it all went down the drain. I'm way better now at D. Thank God. Okay, that's good, Nessa. Yeah. Bang boom. At Sassy says Patricia. Oh, at Pat, taking the medication I got. You mind telling us what they gave you to take for the pain? Yep. The pharmaceutical industry is a money making thing, and there can be scammers. You have some good people in there, but they have to go according to protocol or according to what is they are taught to do, even though what they are taught to do goes against the oath that they took. Every single doctor in the world, it doesn't matter what doctor you are, every doctor has taken a sworn oath. Just like police officers, they swear in an oath. The president, the prime ministers, they take an oath, different kinds of oaths, but every doctor takes the same oath. And it's called, what kind of oath is it? It's a hyper something oath. Hypothesis oath or something like that. But hypothesis is the first original doctor ever, right? So basically it goes back to him. But they took an oath saying that they will never do anything or give their patients anything that will harm them. But they go against that when they give us certain prescriptions. Because you take a prescription today for something, for anything, whatever it is. And a lot of us, the doctors, they will tell us the side effects or some of the side effects, and we don't listen, or we forget them and we don't read them. And you end up with more problems than you had before. And what you were supposed to be getting treated for, you probably still got, plus the other stuff. How wise is that? What sense does that make? You ever, I don't know about how often in Jamaica, but anywhere else in the world, I know here in the United States, you ever watching TV? You ever watch TV and a commercial will come on the TV saying something about, if you are between the ages of such and such, and you have taken such and such between the year of such and such, you probably have the chance for a lawsuit because such and such and such and such and rah, rah, rah. You ever see them something there? So why are they giving us things that, I'm not really going that right now, but get tested. Men, if you're here, I don't think any men are here still. I think the men left. But ladies, talk to your men. Talk to the men in your life. You know? Okay, so that's probably the equivalent. That's for the pain, right? So that's probably the equivalent to ibuprofen, like, but different. Well, probably the same but different. You know how many milligrams? And does it work? And what are the ingredients? What are the ingredients in what they gave you? And what are the side effects of each ingredient that they gave you? It sounds funny and I'm laughing, but I'm dead serious. That's why I'm not like pill. They can make all the pill they want. They can make all of them they want and tell me whatever they want to tell me, what was in it, what is in it, how they make it. And I don't care what they want to tell me, because guess what? I was not there in that pharmacy or in that wherever room they was making that drug, so I don't know. Furthermore, anything that is white, like rice, pills, clothes, anything that is white has bleach in it. Are we supposed to be putting bleach in our body? It's been bleached or dyed or colored. What ingredients are in those colors that are on the colored pills? I don't know. Like twins and twins would have said, I don't know, Rasta, I don't know. Servant David, my man, I have two lime and one. Is that a cucumber? It worked very well too to make salad. So where your mind gone? But yeah, I'm going about just a little over an hour and a half, and I just wanted to talk about or spread awareness on prostate cancer. Because again, today is Health Awareness on the Servant David Show, and it kind of was requested in a way, even though it's something that was done already. But I think two people asked I asked if anybody had any, because I was live earlier and I asked, did anybody have a topic that they wanted me to talk about, since today was health awareness. And I got 2 suggestions that I should talk about cancer, or 1 suggestion, I don't know, but I got a suggestion that I should talk about cancer. And I just chose to talk about, prostate cancer. I was going to talk about the cervical cancer, but I wasn't really prepared for that. As you see, I'm in my man cave and everything. But I do appreciate each and every one of you. I want to say manners, love, and elevation to each and every one of you. I'm a little tired right now because, like I said, got off the live late last night, overslept this morning, so I just want to go all a nice, fresh, probably eat something, and then just rest up, fall asleep, and back on it in the morning.
Friend of mine, he said you wanna go for a ride. I took a look outside and got my head inside. I'm usually down for whatever, but it depends on the weather. We could be birds of a feather, but I don't like it when it's snowing. And I thought you were my homie. You don't even really know me. You don't even really know me, man. I thought you were my homie. Hey. Thank God for social media, right? You hit my page with a like. I guess you're doing alright. It's funny cause I say that in spite. I know that it isn't right, but to be honest, I'm tired of dealing with money. Your stomach is anything making you relevant. When you're shaking and something that wasting my time, take the money and run with it. Well, it was cute for a chapter. I filled you with laughter. You can pay me after, and I'll be here all night. And my phone's just sitting tight. You can call me if you like. You probably won't, and it's alright. But I don't like it when it's snowing. Man, I thought you were my homie. You don't even really know me. You don't even really know me, man. I thought you were my homie. Hey. You ain't no friend of mine. Like I told you last time, but why'd you waste my time? Why didn't fool me silent? You came straight from behind to play like that. That's a crime. You ain't no friend of mine. How could you do your homie like that? Why you fool me like a sly cat? But I don't like it when it's snowing, man. I thought you were my homie. You don't even really know me. You don't even really know me, man.